GamingBolt presents 15 things you need to know before you buy LEGO DC Supervillains. There's an undeniable charm to Traveler's Tales' LEGO series. With each game, you know exactly what you're getting into, but their blend of light puzzle, platforming, action, and exploration elements, combined with humorous writing and wacky characters, just makes them all undeniably enjoyable experiences. With the upcoming LEGO DC Supervillains, that's going to continue, but with a few unique twists on the formula. In anticipation of its release, in this feature, we're going to take a look at 15 things you should know about the game. Without further ado, let's begin. The bad guys. LEGO games have built a solid reputation for themselves by letting players step into the shoes of some of the greatest superheroes known to us across both DC and Marvel. In LEGO DC Supervillains, though, things are going to be changed up a bit, because this time around the focus is squarely on the bad guys. DC's large and famous roster of villains and anti-heroes, with everyone from the Joker and Lex Luthor to Harley Quinn, are all going to be front and center this time around. The setup. How exactly is it going to make sense for us to play as all of these baddies, though? Well, there's a very clear setup for that. When Earth's superheroes and the Justice League go missing, they're replaced by a new superhero team from an alternate universe called the Justice Syndicate. The Justice Syndicate, however, isn't exactly the team of do-gooding superheroes that they might claim to be, and may have more sinister intentions in mind. And so, DC's greatest antagonists come together as a team to thwart the machinations of the Syndicate. Influences. Even though LEGO DC Supervillains is far from the regular DC story you usually see, then again, it isn't really trying to be that, it does share a few common threads with some of them. For instance, it shares elements with the New 52 story Forever Evil, as well as the Darkseid War, given its inclusion of things such as the Crime Syndicate of America, Darkseid's daughter Grail, Lex Luthor's Superman war suit, as well as the fact that it focuses more on DC's lineup of antagonists than its lineup of superheroes. Character creation. Even though LEGO DC Supervillains is going to stick pretty closely to the core gameplay pillars of every LEGO game, it is making one pretty significant addition. That comes in the form of a playable character, making this the first game in the LEGO series of video games that will allow players to create their own custom character. This character will be the main character of the story. Though the game will, in true LEGO fashion, feature several playable characters, the focus will be on the created character. Customization. Of course, players will also be given the ability to customize their character to their heart's content. From what they look like, to what outfits they wear, to what powers they will have. It's all going to be customizable. Players can choose to give their custom-created supervillain their own powers and abilities, and as they progress through the game, more customization options, powers, and abilities will be unlocked. Voice actors. LEGO DC Supervillains is going to have a pretty star-studded voice cast, with plenty of well-known actors usually associated with DC characters returning to reprise their roles. The two most prominent of these will be Mark Hamill and Kevin Conroy, who will be playing the Joker and Batman. Other notable members of the voice cast include Clancy Brown as Lex Luthor, Michael Ironside as Darkseid, Tara Strong as Harley Quinn, Tom Kane as Commissioner Gordon, Steve Bloom as Captain Cold, Travis Willingham as Superman, and Nolan North as Ultraman. Playable characters. LEGO games always give players a vast amount of characters to play as, sometimes almost ridiculously so, and that's not going to change in DC Supervillains. Over 80 playable characters have been confirmed for the game so far, which includes major supervillains such as the Joker, Lex Luthor, Reverse Flash, and Darkseid. Others such as Catwoman, Deathstroke, Deadshot, Doomsday, Poison Ivy, Ra's al Ghul, Sinestro, Scarecrow, and Steppenwolf have also been confirmed. Meanwhile, non-negative characters such as Batman, Superman, The Flash, Wonder Woman, Commissioner Gordon, Nightwing, and Aquaman will also all be included as playable characters. Other characters. Of course, not every character you meet in the game will be playable. I mean, duh, right? Several major NPCs who will be appearing in the game have also been confirmed. Many of these are very well-known DC characters, whose inclusion you may have already guessed, based purely on the fact that the superheroes they're associated with are also included in the game as well. At this point, it'd be hard to think of a major DC character that isn't in this game. The likes of Alfred, Brainiac, General Zod, Lois Lane, Jimmy Olsen, and Perry White are all going to be featured. Confirmed levels. LEGO DC Supervillains will also feature several well-known DC locations as playable levels. The likes of Metropolis, Gotham City, Arkham Asylum, Smallville, Stryker's Island, Apocalypse, Galaxy Communications Gala, Star Labs, and the Justice League Watchtower have all been confirmed to be included in the game. What's interesting is that Traveler's Tales have also confirmed Poison Ivy and Solivar are bosses in some of the game's earlier levels. Hub World. Something else LEGO fans may be familiar with is the concept of a hub world, an open-world location that the game puts you in, letting you explore and traverse with complete freedom. This, of course, is going to be the case in DC Supervillains as well. The game will feature a single, large hub world that will be completely open-ended and allow players to explore freely, and many of the locations we just mentioned will be integrated into this hub world. Puzzle design. With customization and character creation thrown into the mix, LEGO DC Supervillains needs to consider how to balance its puzzles more carefully than any of its predecessors have, but developers Traveler's Tales have made sure to strike that balance well, or so they say at any rate. They are apparently going to be tied to progression, with several abilities only being unlocked as you progress through the game, which you will then need in other puzzles going forward. How well the game strikes this balance is something that remains to be seen. Exploration. Of course, LEGO games always take great joy in letting players traverse the open world city as they wish to, as DC Supervillains is also going to keep doing that. Characters such as Harley Quinn, for instance, can move around on her rollerblades, while other characters will have traversal and movement options exclusive to themselves. Of course, you can always just jump into cars or other vehicles to move about the city. Enemies. True to LEGO fashion, LEGO DC Supervillains will also have some variety in terms of the kinds of enemies you run into. They're going to have differences that go beyond just visual stuff. For instance, some enemies might be wearing gold-plated Legos, and only certain characters with certain abilities will be able to fight against them effectively, which means you will have to switch them into your current party. Two-player co-op. Just like other games in the LEGO series of video games, LEGO DC Supervillains will also let you play the entire game with a friend thanks to the inclusion of two-player co-op, and presumably on the Switch that will extend to local co-op with Joy-Cons as well. Of course, this isn't a new feature by any means, but playing LEGO games with a buddy is always a blast, so it's still something to look forward to. Season Pass. A Season Pass has also been announced for LEGO DC Supervillains, which will add several new characters to the game post its release through multiple paid DLCs. The DC Films Pack adds characters from the films within the DC Extended Universe, while the DC Superheroes TV Series DLC Character Pack adds characters from the DC shows on the CW, including The Flash, Arrow, Supergirl, Black Lightning, and Legends of Tomorrow. And that about does it for this video. If you enjoyed what you watched and want to see more from GamingBolt, you can always hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell icon next to it. That way you will never miss any of our videos.